Amy. Happy to see you.
Look at all those beautiful faces. This is incredible. This is amazing.
Yeah, it is kind of very surprising and cool to see everybody as the team, because this is what it takes to put the stage readings together. Us, you, all together, like a circle. Wow. Okay.
Медалин прохає ID. Я бачу, це 846. Я зараз напишу все.
Hello, Jill.
Hey. Hi, Jill. Okay, so before we start, guys, those guys who watched us online, please tell Taste of the Sun, written. Just no, not yet. Send him the new link. And directed by Jill Navarro.
Alex, was he in the audience?
No. He was supposed to watch online, and he is supposed to join right now by this new link. So he will be here. But so Jill. From what you managed to see, how did
And how the quality of it could work in its favor, because a fable carries with it a kind of universal message that goes beyond the actual message of the play. So that the animal, how do we represent humans as animals or animals as humans? And how do we do it in a very small space? So I like the challenge of that, because always I choose plays. When I choose them, I say to myself, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then I know I'm on the right track. When I say I don't know how I'm going to do it, I know that's the right play for me. So that was why I chose that one.
Did you manage to speak to Alexander, the playwright, before actually getting to work with the guys? And if yes, how was the discussion? Did he bring any of his insights, or did he go on your own just with the words? How was the work?
I spoke to him. I wrote to him a couple of times. You had told me, or someone had told me that he doesn't read or speak English very much, so that his wife would probably be answering for him. So I think I communicated with him twice. And then I had one small question, and I had invited him to come and join us in the rehearsals, but he never came. So then I just said, okay, maybe he has no time or he doesn't feel comfortable, communicating in English. So I just let it go. After that, we were on our own.
Yeah. What about the cast? Was the cast the same? These four wonderful actors. Well, they are animals, right? So
Five.
five. Oh my God.
They were
Okay.
They were amazing. They were just amazing. I love every one of them. And I hope to be able to keep in touch with them and see what we can do next. But it was a real joy working with everybody. Kira and Natalia and Andre and Olena and Tatiana. Just wonderful, wonderful, really giving actors. And I could feel the givingness of their work, even over Zoom. So I'm really, really grateful that I had an opportunity to work with such wonderful actors. And we'll do something else, I'm sure. We'll do something else.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And we're very much curious about what Oroville Theatre does, because Jill is the, I guess, artistic director, if you put it this way, or founder of Oroville Theatre in India. And we're very curious what you guys do and how we could cooperate in future. So yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so back to actors. How many sausages did you actually eat? And yeah, how was working? And the final part, I've seen the turtle, right? Rehearsing the lines just before entering the stage. And how was it, guys?
Okay, no one sausage. I took no one sausage. The first question.
Hungry actor.
And I want to say, Jill, thank you. Thank you so much for this work, for this period of work, because it was very exciting for me. And your English, Jill, is so understanding for me. Yeah. Thank you so much for this work. It was really interesting experience to turn into animals, and today to play today this performance, especially because today happened what we played about. Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
Yes.
Well, it was a pleasure for me. Thank you, Jill.
I'm sure.
Okay, I want to thank you, Jill, for this work, and guys, for my partners for communication, and I'm happy that we did it, and when I read the play, I was crying, and I immediately decided that that one is something very important for me personally. The message what gives this play, this taste of the sun, this taste of the life, and a lot of change for us, and this is an opportunity to say something that you understand, that you know already through these lines, through those characters. I liked each character. They are very interesting all, and I thought that I want to be in it, and I don't care which character I will get. It was important for me to do this because it's something very close what I feel. So I'm very thankful for this job.
Question goes to actors and
Now,
the audience.
now,
Oh, yeah. Go
now
ahead.
I can't imagine anybody playing any other part. I mean, I can't imagine.
But it happened like
other
it
than the
happened.
one thing
What were you?
you've got.
You know, I had to have another part.
Wow.
I should be.
Yeah, question goes to the
person.
audience and the actors on this
But,
performance.
Remember,
How does
it
it,
happened
for
like
you,
it
how
happened.
did it correlate with what's going on right now
I
in
had
Ukraine,
to
apart from
release
we
it
being
first.
bombed today?
I guess
Like-
it's pretty enough.
No, I mean, like, really,
question goes
the
to
actual
the
audience
text, the
and
representation,
the
the
actors
animals,
on this performance. How
how
does
did
it
it work?
because
Because,
you,
again,
how did it
like we
correlate
believe
that
that
none
none
of
of
what's
the
going on
performances
right now in
cannot
Ukraine,
speak
apart
about
from
not
we being
today.
bombed today?
It's always here.
How did
I
it
guess
like,
it's pretty enough.
It was written before, it's performed very allegorically, animals and stuff. How did it connect with today for you? And that's I'm really curious about that.
All I can say.
Yeah.
I was just reading yesterday about magical thinking and how it helps people survive. And it's really something on the surface. All the ideas are usually on the surface, you already know them. But when you put them in the mouth of some magical creatures,
Oh yeah.
like animals who can speak and make decisions like they were making, it becomes more understandable. It finally becomes a story, not reality, but a story, and it helps process what's going on. Like it starts making sense, the feelings and so on. Not, of course, the reality, but what we think about it, and to somehow frame it. So for me, the story itself, the play, is written in a really simple way. Like it's simplified, and at the same time, it gives the depth to the senses that we all have.
It's like a fable. Yeah. Okay. I'm curious. Like, did Alexander originally wrote it sort of like a play for adults, but showed it in the form of a play for kids? You know, this animals things. Really
He
interesting.
still didn't join.
Yes.
What year is
Yeah.
the play? In which year was made? The play was made. Anyone knows?
I guess after 24th.
No. Give me a taste of the sun.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Was
yes.
it?
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
I
Okay.
know.
So it's brand new.
Yes.
I guess
Yeah.
Much
the,
more.
I guess the turtle
Yeah.
story. The
I
turtle
will
story
tell
is
you.
the famous one that was in the news about
April
this turtle.
2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
April 2022.
So it's very recent.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And it's very smart.
No, because
Okay.
it's just you could think that it's not modern, but this plot of the turtle, it's exactly the one that was in the news.
Yes,
Everybody
yes.
like were saving this poor
Breach.
turtle that
Yeah.
was, you know, blown
Yeah,
out.
there was a story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I loved. The voicing, also the animal strategy, because it's just, I don't know, they don't have the voice. And now they do.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a cat.
It's very close to people. It's like it's animals, but the characters, the types of characters, and they have feelings like human. Maybe it is better to describe it through the animals for Alexander Viter, but it can be like human and animal as well, and the same. It will not change a lot, I guess.
Okay. Anybody?
I mean, there's
Girls?
a great tradition in literature of animals being wise and teaching us things.
Yeah.
So I think this is in that tradition. There's the wise owl. There's a whole host of animal characters throughout literature that have been able to teach humans. Sometimes are wiser than the human beings themselves. So I like that idea. I like to play with that idea.
Yeah. Well, it works just brilliantly. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Okay. Next one is The Pussycat in the Memory of Darkness. Is it a brand new
No.
play? Oh, it was written before.
It was written, I guess, maybe in 2015 or 2016.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not new.
2016. Right. Amy, are you with us? Amy?
Yes, hi.
Yes. Why did you choose the play in the first place? Amy Todorov, the director of Pussycat in the Memory of Darkness. Thank you very much.
Well, all of you that were there saw the beautiful work, and the words are just so incredibly powerful. The moment I first read it, I was deeply, deeply moved by the language and by the story of one singular woman taking her story and seeing the entire story of what has been going on in the last, decades in the country, but telling it through this one woman's experience and watching that woman go from feeling like she couldn't bear it, that she didn't want to live anymore, that she couldn't go on, but finding the ability to go on by caring for something else, by caring for this small, helpless kitten that needs her. And you see that behavior mirrored throughout the entire play, where she's caring for something else, and that's what gives her the strength to keep on living. So I really think that it was meant to be with this actress in this piece in this time that we were able to present it. And I think,
Wow.
Radhika was just, she's amazing. She's incredible.
Yeah, that was my
We
question.
spent a lot of time working on cutting the piece because in its original form, it's about an hour and 40 minutes. And none of it feels unnecessary. It all feels like it's a really important story, but we did cut it down really significantly, and Nika's talent at translation and using the language, she really, it was not just helpful, it was really necessary to be able to talk to her and to talk to the playwright and say, all right, structurally, the play is so well constructed, but how do we then condense it in a way that makes sense, and using Nika's translation skills to make that happen.
So Nada did help you with the making the short version.
She did.
Okay.
Okay. And again, like, all credit goes to Nika because we worked on a short version, and then there was some communication issue, so we ended up getting a whole new shorter version the day before our tech rehearsal. So we had to add things back in, take new things back out, and she just like rolled with all of the punches. And yeah, it ended up being, I think, a fabulous performance. But I'm also really curious to know what people there thought, since I was getting the stream version of the play.
Which is different.
And I
From the actual play. It's much longer and with lots of pauses, sometimes without the sound. That's the version. Let's refrain it to audience first and then to Nika. Guys, what do you think? It's a mono performance. It's like what, like 40 minutes, I guess? It touches upon Crimea and the kid, what do you think?
Well, it was almost kind of traumatizing to live all of this again. Like, we go through all the modern history of Ukraine, and I think it's really important to have this in English to give a perspective for people abroad of what happened, and I really like the perspective of this character and the story itself, because it's really like it feels Ukrainian. So.
Wow. Anyone else? No? Thank you.
Also, it was the one I personally felt like needed a break after.
Is it Neda? Неждан?
Yes.
Yes.
Neda, are you with us? I guess. Yes, she is. Yes, please.
There's a baby in the audience.
Yes.
No.
I have the kid actor. Yes, Polina. Yes.
After
Можешь выключить звук.
no.
Не в тебе, в неї. Ти говори.
Needed a longer break between the performances after this one because it's hard and we needed to think about it for longer.
Like,
You want it to be
because
longer?
No, the break to digest, right?
Yeah.
To think about it.
Yeah. But then again, like, we have to rethink. Well, we did 2 sets of streamings, the May and this one. Then we'll have to sit and think what went well, the technicalities of it, how to make it work, streaming parts, not streaming parts, the internet. We have to rethink it all and make it work for future. That was just the proba pera, if you call it this way. First step into the door. So yeah. But the breaks, I kind of agree, because we just we never thought that these performances would actually be that long, because we did the first set of readings and the shows were like 7 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 max.
Yeah.
So that's what we were thinking. And then when you get a performance of 40, like, oh, okay, what do you do?
Yeah.
So, hence the question, how was it to take this big material as a mono performance, second mono performance in 2 days, and so on?
Well, maybe we will circle back to the question and talk to Neda.
Okay, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for now. And then maybe
You'll
I
think
will
about it. Yes.
talk. Yeah.
Okay. Neda Неждана, вітаю. Hello. Are you with us?
Мікрофон.
Дашенька, включи обратно Неду.
Ні, це тільки вона може.
Did you say my name?
Yeah.
Okay, you said my
No,
name.
no,
so
no, we
yeah.
said Neda.
No,
It's
it's
the
like
playwright.
we're coming. I wouldn't forget. Yes, Неда Неждана, ви нас чуєте? У вас мікрофон виключений, треба включити мікрофон назад. У вас. Бо я так вас не почую. Куди ви пропали? Тепер у вас екрану нема. Що відбувається? Це прямо як наш стрім. Оце ти застала? Redress the question and she's like going away.
One thing that we talked about a lot is the structure of the play having the white, the gray, and the dark. And we tried to really honor that with the light choices and the look of the costumes. And when we were making those cuts, keeping that structure together.
Yeah. And the choice of the lights instead of kittens was just, very, very nice.
Also, Light's last moment decision.
Yeah.
So much was a last moment decision, and then as you all know, how it
Turns out.
ended up with a shortened technical time.
Yeah.
Що зі звуком, пані Неда?
Неда, щось там мікрофон не дуже працює. Скажіть що-небудь, будь ласка, щоб ми перевірили.
And now, you listen me?
Hey! Hello, Neda Neždana, the playwright, the author of Pussycat in the Memory of Darkness at Vietka UA. Hello.
Because of the performance here, my performance, and I try to see and to be at the theater at the same time. What was the question?
Well, we had many different, like for example, how did you see, how did you perceive the short version? Because originally your play, Pussycat in the Memory of Darkness, is much longer. This short version, do you think it changed the idea of a play? Do you think it kept the main idea of a play? How was it, the short version of a play?
I understood that the text must be cut for this stage reading, but I some little change went for something that is important for me, so I want that will be the text. But in general, we also in this version, and me it was interesting this idea with the image of sheep and also the idea of eyes. In this screen, with the duck and the eyes.
Okay. Yeah, we will also get these, like the best version out of the computer, uploaded to YouTube. You guys will all be able to rewatch it and probably get together, all three of you, the actress, the director, and the playwright, and discuss, and maybe something will come up out of this, more than a stage reading. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for you.
Yes, thank you. Last but not the least. Вероничка, you want? Okay, Veronica. Yes.
Well, I'm really grateful for this opportunity, of course, and I don't know how it happened. It really was a coincidence that we changed the performances, and then James, the performance of the director of Atvietka, said, I want to work on Atvietka mono performance of Neda Neždana. And Amy said that I want to work on mono performance Pussycat in the Darkness by Neda Neždana. And I'm like, well, it seems like there is some chemistry. Like funny coincidence. Yeah, I guess it was meant to be like this. And I'm really happy how it turned out. And it's a great work. It's a lot of work. And it's really, there was a lot of me in both of these performances. But I hope it didn't seem like totally me. Yeah, but
Yes. You're a much nicer person.
Then Raya? Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, and I just really wanted to tell the story because I lived through the story of person from Donbass and these lines in the end that you look at us as if we are diseased. I remember, and I'm very sorry. Like I'm sorry for that, but there was some prejudice against people from Donbass, from some people in Ukraine, in Kiev and Western Ukraine, and I think that in Europe now our refugees
also struggle through the same thing sometimes. Like, why do you come here? You know, like, and stuff like this. Some people, not all people, but still there are some not good people. There are good and bad people everywhere, and that was important for me to tell this message.
I have a question because there was a point that you felt like it was re-traumatizing. Wasn't it re-traumatizing you to go through two texts which are so like your experience?
Well, I don't know. I think it was, you know, like sometimes in order to build something new, you need to break the old one. And that's what was happening, and I think it's still happening. And these lines, I will never come back, they still hit hard because I think about that I will come back. And this is all, you know, like it's a therapy, kind of therapy. Yeah, it can be hard, and it is hard, but it's important in order to grow, in order to rebuild.
Thank you. It's very brave.
Oh. Okay, moving on. Last but not the least, rediscovery / reopening. Well, rediscovery, I guess. Novel written by Vladimir Serdyuk, directed by Madeline Bongard. I think Madeline will give the floor to you because you're very energetic. We love working with you. Thank you very much for what you brought to us. How did it work for you?
What is the question?
How did it work in general? The whole work process, selecting material, changing the novel into the piece of work of stage, working with Vladimir, working with the guys, well, everything.
Okay, yeah. When I decided to take part in your wonderful proposition of making these readings, I thought my main goal is to share rehearsals with whoever would like to join. I didn't want to choose actors specifically for one specific role, and to me I felt like it was more important to have the opportunity to connect on what we did was on a daily basis, like 1 hour, 1 hour 30 a day, and to dive into this work. So that's how I did my cast, actually. I opened up to a training, and whoever wanted to take part in that kind of work after the first 2-hour training was welcome to join. And we had 2 more people first in the team, and one was in Warsaw and somehow couldn't connect to the rehearsals, and the other one got injured 3 or 4 days ago by driving accident. And I think he's more or less okay. I haven't heard from him since, but I think he's okay. But he was so professional that he showed up to the rehearsal with his arm bleeding, and he was like, I need it on time, but I cannot stay because I need to go to the hospital. And we were like, go to the hospital, don't come to the rehearsal. So it was really very moving. So that was the main idea, to be connected with whoever it feels the wish and the need to work together in the way I was offering the kind of work that goes through body, through rhythm, through breathing, and through images and all these things. And that's also why I chose Vladimir Serdyuk's novel, because in it I could really see that there were a lot of possibilities to create images, to create core scenes, to dive into something that is not an immediate response to what is happening now. Like, it's not staging, oh, we are having war, but it's staging something that we all go through, and I guess that you over there in Ukraine are going through much deeper right now. And what I really liked in that novel is that, and as Volodymyr told me after on the chat, he wrote that in 1994 while he was a soldier. And he found that his way of surviving was to connect to imaginary worlds and to receive words and images and dreams that were giving him a key out of the hell, basically, out of the hell. And so I thought that's really super interesting, because let's try to use this on a collective subconsciousness level to dig into these topics that everyone is connected to, but how do we survive to that? How do we connect again to breathing and to creativity and to love and all these things that a war tries to erase and to put you down? And that was written in the text of Volodymyr, that it was really like to survive when you are alone as a soldier. He received that answer. And he received a spiritual answer. He received a higher being than what a human being thinks he is. So that was the connection. Then how did we choose the different scenes? Honestly, it was really like, okay, we have 1 hour, 1 hour 30 every day to work. So on the first day of rehearsals, I asked each actor to pick up a day, because he wrote this novel like a diary with a lot of days. And then we took these texts and we put them one scene after the other, and we trusted that a common sense would come out of it. Because there wasn't more time, and the novel is very long, and none of us, neither the actresses or me, had real enough time to really like do the work of digging into every little scene of that novel, because every word is a metaphor, every sentence is an image, every paragraph is a whole scene. So we just really took these days and said, okay, that's going to be our core work, and from there we dive into understanding the core, the character, and the deeper meaning of it, and we went into that work. And also, just to say, we also had these movies, because somehow it came out of one of my mistakes, because I thought Ina was going to be, she was not in Kiev at that time during the whole first week when we were rehearsing. She was in Ismail, close to Odessa. And so I thought that she could be involved in the stage reading by having her on screen. And she started to make movies of the sky, so the sky that was filmed in Odessa, in near Odessa. And she did these videos, and then Olena had this image of feet, and I thought this would be great to have it on stage, on the video as well. So she made also a lot of experiments. And so these two, and I'm sure the others would have done the same, but like I was very surprised that they became film directors, or maybe they are even, and I don't even know, because I haven't asked for their CV. I don't know who they are. Basically, I discovered them on stage, in the stage work. So they just sent to me these incredible movies, and they did the editing. I just put them together, one and the other, and the days, but like they did really like the editing of the feet movie and of the face movie and of the sky movie. So it's fully their creation. I was just the pilot of it. Really. That's what I can say.
Wow. Thank you very much. One more question to you, Madeleine, for me personally. I had a strong reminiscence watching the guys on stage about the Greek tragedy and the chorus. The idea of the chorus at the back that kind of comments what's going on, and I had a strong feeling that we have the chorus, this Greek chorus, all the time on stage. Was there anything of Greek, I don't know, reminiscence to you of what's going on in Vladimir's text? Was there anything of a kind?
There is a kind of wind sound that makes me not understand what you are saying. Maybe it's Jill, can you turn off? Yeah, maybe now it's better. So thank you. I just understood Greek. And
so, well, it was my personal impression when I was watching the guys that oftentimes they reminded me this Greek chorus of any Greek tragedy that kind of comments what's going on in a main story, but they are the chorus all the time. Was there anything of a Greek reminiscences that you used working on this play, working on this piece?
Maybe unconsciously. Like, I like it when the audience or those who haven't seen it are starting to give inputs of things we didn't work on consciously.
Okay.
So thank you for noticing that. I will think about it.
Okay, I see.
But it's interesting, like super interesting, really.
Okay.
But it wasn't made on purpose.
I see. Vladimir, which one would be easier for you, English, Ukrainian, or English? Which one?
To you to show.
Oh, English, of course, yes. Vladimir Serdyuk, the author of the discovery. Yes, my question is still there. Did you recognize the text?
I am still having cultural shock.
Why?
First, not so many people read this novel, so I thank you, Madeline, to choose the text. Second, I wrote it lonely, absolutely lonely, and now I see kind of family, a group of support. And the other thing, I heard poetry in these lines, which I never saw before. And music and dance. Sometimes it was like a rock opera, people singing rap, and altogether, for me, it was the effect of worship. Shocking. And unexpected thing, the boots on the black cube, like a symbol of man going for war and maybe not return. In America, they do it. Put the boots on the wire. So thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So you did write it. Yes. You did write it in 1994 when you were in the army, like as a what do you call it? Not soldier, but there, and it was like hell to you at that time. The Soviet army.
The Soviet army was 20 years before.
Okay.
So it's an example of when you have post-traumatic syndrome, you will revive in very long time. First I drank alcohol, then quit drinking and still suffer. But that period I was a volunteer in several conflicts in independent Ukraine, but we were helping Moldova, Abkhazia. And I recognized war is war, everywhere and always. Nothing good in it. Okay, but
thank you. Thank you very
what
much.
what I saw, already quite a good book trade.
It is.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And you definitely knew what you were doing, because one of the things the novel got into our pool because it was translated into English. So the whole idea, like I believe you originally wrote it in Ukrainian, no?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was there into English, and it kind of goes with our idea. English is international language of communication. So whichever you do, translate it into English, and that will do it for the world. Yeah, back to actors. One of the stories that I want to share to the audience, this thing that Madeline shared with us, there was a workshop. Because everybody else, they kind of casted the actors. Madeline did a workshop over Zoom, and then she asked all the participants, who would like to take part in my performance? And everybody who took part in the workshop said yes. And then we had this car accident, and the guys dropped out, but basically everybody jumped in. What did she do to you?
Yeah, she summoned us.
Okay.
So as she said, she's like, she's like, okay, I'm gonna choose
people who come, you know. So she just summoned us because we were like, you're just sitting at home in the evening, and like suddenly you have a need to go on Facebook and find this work. That's the real story, you know. I was going to bed, I didn't even want to go, like, no social media for me after 10. But yeah, that night I was like, okay, I'll go. Like, oh, a workshop, I'll go, you know. And then we meet Madeline, and then things on the workshop starts happening, and you're like, yeah, I was summoned here.
See?
Yeah.
It's a destiny. Okay.
Actually, we can say that this play happened with us.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
It's
like
rediscovery, you know. We got
it's
discovered.
really rediscovering. And Madeline, thank you so much, because we really feel like a family today. And thank you for your support, for your gentle and so caring dropping us into this diving in, and to be with us all the time, for your feedbacks, and for you working not only with us, with our breathing or with our images, but feeling how we connect to the story, and giving us the opportunity to be open and to feel everything, and to really live through this everything. Thank you so much. We all hope that we can continue working on this play, because I think that it's not like a reading, but it's like a half of the play already, and we would be happy to join the continuing of the process. And thank the ProEnglish Theatre, and thank you, Volodymyr, because it's really a great story, and the 7th of October happened really to me in my life, but this play has chosen all of us, and thank you that we did this common work, and we love you. Yay!
Yeah, guys, audience,
well, you
actors,
know,
audience,
and
actors,
I will add, sorry for, because, you know, this morning was not easy for everyone, and thank you for waking up with us, and you supported so much, because we know that we were bombed today, and we had run through at 10, and everyone, whoever, in shelter or at home, or everyone, and we know that we have to do it today, because we need to do it, and we need to share with the world what we are just living through. And thank you for giving us this energy to do it today. It was not so easy for everyone to come here between the air raids, but we really believe that we do so important thing, because we are talking from our heart and from about these things that are happening with all of us. Thank you for being with us today.
Let me just react on that, because she says it this way, but this is what you did this morning is Ukrainian style. Careful. Because so I woke up at 6:30 Central Europe time, so it was 7:30 in Ukraine, and I had Alex messages that we all received, like there were shellings, and so I created a Facebook group with all the actresses. I was like, how do you feel? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And so it was really open for me. It was okay just to meet tonight, or to cancel, or to do it online, whatever.
No.
And they said, oh no, I just think
Cancel?
Great.
Sorry, I'm on my way to the theater.
Yeah, and then I wrote to Annabelle, what do you think, is it going to take place? And she said, well, this theater is already a shelter.
Building
So
away.
I have to thank you, because you, and it's like when I came to Ukraine every time since 2016, every time I come back to Europe and I'm like, these Ukrainians.
No, because they are trying to take everything from us, our dreams, our life, and no, we won't let them.
I would like
That's this
to.
life energy that you have, and it's wonderful, and I think that's exactly why it has to be spread over the world, because you're inspiring for everyone, and look at all the directors who are working with you, with all the teams now. I don't know the others, but I can feel it's the same. it's really, I think it's a weapon to win the war, to spread who you are. This vitality, this creativity, it's not just a fake thing. It's like in fact, in action. It's like whenever there is something, you make the choice of creativity, you make the choice of life. Every day, in every single action you have to do. And that's an example, I think, for humanity, and that's why we must win this war, and we will win it, and we must stand with you. Definitely.
Yeah, I want to add up to every thank you that sounded in this room, but also putting a very on the table this phrase you said that we're doing this from heart. That was the key for me. I also felt like I was summoned, as you say, but also what made me stay was this openness, which from the first word of the workshop that Tuesday, because I remember very good that I was doubting whether to go or not, because I had a lot of stuff going on and a very bad day. But at the same time, after being in that workshop, like 1 minute, I felt at home. I felt so full of care and with a desire not only to receive but give it back. And then like all this feeling was with us every day, because we really met every day. And then when we were working on the text, I also went through the whole novel, and I'm really recommending you guys to read this novel, because it's amazing.
It's really amazing.
And it's also wrote from heart, and that's all was such a the space of transparent love, which has no limits and no borders and no conditions and no need of pretending or something else. And it was such a needed feeling right now, such an important one. And also for me, the reassurance, because we will all try, I guess, to bring this feeling in whatever work we do in theater. But this was like a reassurance of the true path, I don't know. And then when we were choosing this parts, it was also like a miracle, I don't know.
Just say the date. Just say the date.
Yes.
Nothing. Just say the date. Let it happen with you.
And this like fortune telling, basically. Yeah, you were just like sometimes we do this. Tell me the page, you open and you're like, wow, this is about me.
Yes, and it happens. And it happens with all of us. And
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Madeline. Thank you so much.
You guys.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Audience, do you got
I
anything?
have a little, I'm wondering a little thing, because we are like congratulating each other like that, like we are family, we want to work together and everything. But how did the audience react?
Yes, that was the thing. What do you think?
Okay.
It was a magic.
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 That's it?
Yeah, really.
I said Greek.
I didn't.
That was a magic.
And magic.
Oh.
Yes.
Alright. I love the videos. It made this performance so much bigger. It kind of expanded the horizons. So I love the chorus thing, the Greek one. I don't know if it's true, but it is Greek. But the videos kind of expanded the whole story and brought it so much wider, not in terms of meaning, but like the geography of the story. It was wide enough from what they were saying, because it was very universal and many meanings into this. But the videos kind of brought me into the whole planet scale of what's going on in the story, and I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Even spotted planks under the bare feet reminds me of the fields of Ukraine spotted by shells.
Oh, Yeah, true. Yeah, so like very dense performance, very packed with symbols that are very open for interpretation, probably because there is not one interpretation into them, and it's not meant to be like this. It's filled with things that allows you just to travel with, and then each one of us, of the audience, comes up with his own understanding or feeling with that. And that's probably the best. This performance allows you million of ways of interpreting, and that's probably what's the best of it. So really cool. Yeah. And I love when you guys speak together. You should always speak together.
Actually, one more thing is that we've never met before. We met first time on Madeline's workshop.
Yeah.
That's like ABBA.
You even look like one.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I can't tell what it was about. I already told you after it, but from the moment when metronome started working, I felt like, okay, I'm hypnotized already. And till the very end, I was all the time hypnotized. I was completely inside this story. I didn't feel like I'm watching something. I felt like I'm inside of it and I have no idea what's going on. And it's absolutely parallel reality. But at the same time, it's like pure feeling that transforms all the time. It's sometimes nice, sometimes not very nice, like a prayer or something like that. And a lot of rhythm, a lot of change of the tempo, and like the whole dramaturgy of the story was about the change of the rhythm and tempo. To image or to some rhythm or something like that. Like, yeah, it was all pure feeling. So thank you very much. It's
Thank you.
really
You know, to see, to be present at such a place like we did, it's really a big challenge. But thank you so much that you are not watching and you're feeling with your open heart. I think that the magic of the theater.
Yeah.
The audience make the play, so thank you so much.
I actually got the feeling in the end, when you guys come closer to the audience, that you are going to give them the pages, metronomy starts working again, and you're going to make the guys read with the tempo given. I had this like ending.
They actually did make us participate. They made us scan the words, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Madeline, everybody here was screaming and not for the people against us.
Yay! Let's have a revolution!
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna round up. Thank you everybody for participating. It's been a tremendous experience. 2 days of readings, like months of preparation, actors, directors, playwrights, audience, guys. That's been amazing and important. And just to round up, a couple things about what's going to happen next with Pre-English. You have to know. So first of all, we're going to sit and analyze the readings, both of May and June. Probably some of them might make it into the repertoire of Pre-English Theatre, which will require work on a different level. You'll need to learn the lines. First,
we would.
Yeah.
We would.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's number one. Then we're gonna have a couple premieres in July of Pre-English Theatre, because we've been working independently on different performances. Annabelle's gonna have her performance coming. We're gonna sing, Daniel, right? We're gonna putting up the musical. Yes. Yes. He says yes. So we will musical about the guns. Yeah. We're gonna do it. Probably we're gonna have a tour, but that's not the thing I wanted to mention. We're gonna have make a little pause on stage reads for now, because we have to, make into something bigger. But there is one that we're gonna do. The July 16th, Pre-English Theatre is gonna cooperate with the Theatre of War of New York. And these guys, they read only Greek tragedies. That's what I've been trying to put into you for this discussion. These guys have been reading Greek tragedies for like 5 or 10 years. They kind of celebrities there and there in New York. And they do it in support of the countries in need. They've been reading for Serbia, they've been reading for Syria, and they've been reading Greek tragedies. Because war is always a tragedy of a huge scale, and they putting it into universal level. And July 16, they're gonna read the Aeschylus Suppliants, and ProEnglish Theatre supplies 5 actors to read for them, and they're gonna be reading against Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the guy who I guess confirmed, and probably Adam Driver. So that's a big step with a lot of publicity, and it's not only about publicity, it's about something, because what's happening right now with Ukraine, it is a Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
So, being a part of it is a privilege and pain. Thank you very much.
Is there anything we can add, or is it over?
Oh, no, add it up.
Oh.
Yes.
I have the feeling it's in the name of the 3 of us, but I'll speak it out and you'll confirm. You thank us and thank everyone, but we thank you because it's a full other thing to experience this war by knowing your country and by being out of it. And when I see moments like today,